playing two sports at the time, baseball and soccer. One morning, I woke up with pain on the outside of my left knee. I thought it was just a typical sports injury. I continued to play in my games, and I did everything as usual for a few days. But the pain would not go away, and it was causing me to limp. My mom took me to the pediatrician, and thank goodness, my doctor knew immediately that something was not right. She sent me to an orthopedic surgeon the following day for an x-ray. The doctor told my mom that he believed I had osteosarcoma, a rare type of bone tumor, just by looking at my x-ray. Everything happened quickly after that appointment. My parents consulted with many of their physician friends about what we should do next. My parents took the advice of our close family friends. He is a radiation oncologist and she is a pediatrician. They told my parents I needed to have a biopsy as soon as possible at a premier research institution. Just 3 days after my trip to the pediatrician, we were on our way to St. Jude Hospital in Memphis, Tennessee. 3 of us cried, and my life was never the same again. After many conversations with physicians, we decided I should start chemotherapy back in Phoenix. My parents came to the conclusion that if I would receive the exact same pre-surgery chemotherapy in Phoenix, I should be home in my own bed as much as possible, surrounded by family and friends who love me. I received chemotherapy for 10 weeks at Phoenix Children's Hospital before returning to St. Jude for limb salvage surgery. I am so grateful that the surgeons were able to save my leg and completely remove the tumor. They inserted a significant titanium device in my leg, which partially replaced my femur and my knee. After surgery, the analysis of the tumor indicated that the necrosis, or the amount of the tumor killed by the initial chemo, unfortunately was only 50%. The doctors were hoping to see at least 80% necrosis. This meant I would have to have a very aggressive plan of treatment. I needed a total of 21 rounds of chemotherapy with some of the strongest chemo drugs. Thank goodness my parents' physician friends never stopped doing research on every available treatment for me. They told my parents about a drug called Mifamurtide, or MTP. MTP is an immune therapy drug that has improved survival rates for children with osteosarcoma. My parents were excited about the drug, but quickly realized it was not approved in the United States. MTP was available in so many countries all over the world, they were astonished it was not available in America. The trials for MTP had actually been started by physicians in the U.S. My parents flew to Mexico City with our friend who's a pediatrician to see the results of MTP on their osteosarcoma patients. The doctors there showed them their findings and told my parents I was welcome at their hospital to receive MTP. The clock was ticking. In order to have MTP immune therapy, I had to start it at the exact same time as my post-surgery chemotherapy, just 10 weeks after undergoing surgery at St. Jude. My parents never gave up hope they could get this treatment in the U.S. They contacted our congressman, the FDA, the drug manufacturer, and anyone they thought could help us find a way. They even spoke with the lead physicians for the U.S. trials at MD Anderson and Sloan Kettering. The doctor at Sloan Kettering explained MTP and answered all of my parents' questions. My parents told them they were not looking for guarantees, just hope. I will never forget my parents and their friends explaining to my brother that we were going to move to London so I could have MTP treatment along with my chemotherapy. We were so upset with my parents at first, but ultimately accepted that this might help save my life. Our entire family left our home in Phoenix, Arizona, and moved 5,000 miles away. My chemotherapy treatment was brutal, and I was in the hospital more often than not. My dad was always exhausted and hated not being with us. My mom was exhausted too, going back and forth between the hospital and home to take care of my brother and I. But there's no place like home. I felt so isolated. I missed my friends, my home, my dog, and my school. My family and I were very fortunate to have the resources to relocate to another country. Most people do not have that option. When my family and I returned to the U.S., we all agreed we would do anything to help other families not have to go through what we did to get this treatment, or worse, not have a promising treatment at all. So when the Goldwater Institute asked me to serve as the honorary chairman of the Right to Try campaign in Arizona, I jumped at the opportunity. I am grateful to Darcy Olson and the people at the Goldwater Institute for giving me a chance to do something positive with my terrible experience. I am grateful to be alive, and I'm grateful to be here with your esteemed committee today. I hope and pray we can make it easier for Americans to have faster access to critical medical treatment. Please help us give Americans a better chance to save their own lives and those of their loved ones. No guarantees, just hope. Thank you very much.
Diego, I have just a quick ask now. Have you been judged cancer-free?
Yes.
For how long?
It's been about 3 years.
Okay. Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you.
Our next witness is Dr. Joseph Golfo.